Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso, happening today, the current and former EPISD administrators arrested last week are set to appear in federal court.
Indiana voters head to the polls tomorrow. How will this impact the race for the presidency? I'm ABC's Lana Zach in Washington, and I'll have all the latest, including what Bernie Sanders has to say about when or if he'll be dropping out.
The latest from the deadly carnival accident over the weekend. We hear from friends who knew the victim.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Rise and shine. A very good morning to you, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. Let's talk to Crystal first.
Yes, it's 6 o'clock on the dot. Crystal.
And a very good morning, everyone. A very cool morning, everyone. I know we're in May now. It doesn't feel like it. We're at 44 degrees in El Paso this morning. Wind chill temperature, though, at 42 degrees. Let me remind you what wind chill is, because we haven't talked about it in a while. That's when you have some winds in place and cool air, what it actually feels like on your skin as you step out the door. Now, officially, winds are at only 5 miles per hour, but I can tell you in parts of West El Paso, the winds are a little higher as those winds are pulling in from the northeast, meaning west slopes see higher winds. 38 your temperature in Las Cruces. It feels like 34 degrees this morning, so a heads up. Grab the jacket, dress appropriately, because this afternoon we won't see a ton of warming. We're looking at high temperatures only making their way into the upper 60s and low 70s. We'll have more on today's forecast and how it compares to the days ahead coming up.
Thanks so much, Crystal. The 5 people arrested in connection to the EPISD cheating scandal are set to be back in federal court today. We have Good Morning El Paso's Denise Olivas with more on our top story this morning. Good morning.
All 5 former and current administrators have a scheduled hearing today since they were arrested last Wednesday. And they are Damon Murphy, John Tanner, Nancy Love, Diane Thomas, and Mark Tegmeyer, all facing federal charges stemming from that scandal that forced students out of school, other students putting grades above or below their grade levels. And this was all to manipulate and change state test scores. On last night's ABC7 Extra, current superintendent Juan Cabrera said that there have been changes made to ensure that educators feel safe to report any wrongdoing. He says the district is also being proactive.
When the managers made sure that the audit department reported separately, not to the superintendent, because that was the case previously. And then that hotline is something that's utilized quite a bit. And in addition to that, we do some independent audits where we're going out there and, without warning, double checking some of our systems.
And coming up in our next half hour, one of the 5 arrested, Nancy Love, is the only one that's still an EPISD employee. And Cabrera talks about that investigation. That's coming up. For now, we're live in downtown El Paso. Denise Olivas, ABC7.
All right, thank you, Denise. And now to the race for president. Tomorrow, Indiana voters will head to the polls. And new numbers out of the Hoosier State suggest Ted Cruz support may be collapsing despite several big attempts to consolidate anti-Trump backers. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders is just a few points behind Hillary Clinton and within the margin of error. Here's ABC's Lana Zach. It's your voice, your vote.
Ted Cruz says there's no way he's giving in to Donald Trump, no matter how big Trump's lead.
Donald right now is on the 30-yard line, and he wants everyone to say, hey, the game is over.
Trump currently holds a double-digit lead, according to the latest polls. The frontrunner telling Indiana voters they could help him knock out the competition by bringing Trump's delegate count over 1,000.
And then we can focus on crooked Hillary. Please, let's focus on Hillary.
Hillary Clinton seems ready to focus on Trump, too.
We cannot let Barack Obama's legacy fall into Donald Trump's hands.
But while Clinton supporters are asking Bernie Sanders to get out,
I would like to see Sanders try to bring some of his supporters over to her as well.
He says there will be no concession before the convention.
The convention will be a contested contest.
Crediting his supporters for ushering in a political revolution with their millions of donations.
We have received over 7.4 million individual campaign contributions.
Over the weekend, the president teasing Sanders during the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Bernie, you look like $1 million. Or to put it in terms you'll understand, you look like 37,000 donations of $27 each.
And the president made fun of all of the candidates who would like to replace him in office, including Hillary Clinton. He said her attempts to reach out to youth voters was sort of like a relative signing up for Facebook. Clinton took it all in stride, though, tweeting, "Nice job, Aunt Hillary approves." Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Switching gears, cleanup is underway today after a freight train derailed. It happened yesterday downtown in Washington, D.C. Right now, investigators are trying to determine what caused this to happen. Crews have been inspecting the cars scattered around the tracks, which are also used by Amtrak. No one was injured in the derailment, and no evacuations of surrounding areas have been ordered.
Students at Hanks High School will be returning to class this morning without one of their fellow classmates. This after a teenager died when she fell out of a carnival ride on Friday night. It happened at St. Thomas Aquinas Church in East El Paso. Ysleta ISD confirms the teen was 16-year-old Samantha Aguilar. We have photos from Samantha's friends. The district says Aguilar was an outstanding student. She was an athlete also, and in the top 10% of her class. Aguilar was on the track and field team.
No matter what, like, we're all going to be together for the friends that were there that night, or for the friends that knew her closely and like super personally, but that we're just going through it together, even if we weren't as close to her.
St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Church had planned a 3-day celebration for Dia de los Niños, but the church grounds turned into a crime scene. El Paso police say Aguilar and 2 other girls were on a ride called the Sizzler. The company that owns the rides is Playtime Amusement Incorporated, based out of Las Cruces. The company has not returned any of ABC7's phone calls.
It's still unclear why or how Aguilar was thrown from her seat, but we have YouTube video of the Sizzler in action. Investigators have not said what caused Samantha Aguilar to be thrown from her seat, but police say she did slam into a metal bar. Friends are planning on having a remembrance today for Aguilar and are encouraging everyone to wear red.
The Ysleta School District sent us this statement over the weekend saying, quote, "It is with deep sadness that we confirm that Samantha Aguilar, a Hanks High School athlete and outstanding student, was thrown from a ride during a carnival on Friday and passed away. The Ysleta Independent School District Board of Trustees, staff, and students are grief-stricken over the tragic loss of Samantha. Our heartfelt thoughts and prayers are with her family and the Hanks High School community. Grief counselors will be on site at Hanks starting Monday to help students and staff as needed." And it is now 6:07, time to talk about our weather and traffic on the 7s, and it's a lot chillier like we've been saying all morning.
Now that's absolutely right. Temperatures this morning, you can feel the difference out there. Yesterday we only hit a high of 69 degrees, and this morning the temperature just continued to slip. So what we're looking at is through the rest of today, a much cooler than average forecast high in the afternoon all over the region. Then as we move forward this week, by tomorrow quickly warming up, and that warming trend continues through midweek. By late week we are talking winds starting to strengthen as well. So quite a few changes as we move forward, but for now, let's focus on today. We've got those breezy to windy conditions through your morning, particularly along western mountain slopes. Sunny to mostly sunny, and then sunshine continuing this afternoon. At noon, we're at 62 degrees, and your high today only at 71, so make sure you're dressing for what will feel like a cooler day compared to what we've been seeing, those 80s.
Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? Thanks, Crystal. And now let's take a live look at traffic this morning. If you're heading out, it's looking great. Smooth sailing for your morning commute. This is I-10 in Eastlake, as you can see, nice and clear. And now we do have that traffic alert. The westbound Wrestler exit ramp on I-10 is going to be closed each night this week, starting at 9 p.m., and then it'll reopen here at 5 the following morning. So a heads up there, Steph.
All right, thank you, Hillary. And at 6:09, we still have much more to come here on Good Morning El Paso. After months of searching, authorities in Peru have arrested a big-name drug dealer. And a volcano eruption within miles of a city is causing some concerns for both authorities and residents. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.